All right. I'd said earlier, a little worried about, LeBron and Draymond on the Warriors with Lendeborg. But let me show you that that's just one scenario I came up with. Here's another scenario that I think is going to be, that could be great for Lendeborg.
Lay it on me.
All right. And great for the Warriors. And this is where you got to find a silver lining with the Butler injury and with the Moody injury. I don't see any way in hell, whether LeBron James is on the team or not, that Lendeborg's not going to play the first 40 games of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you let him get 40 games under his belt, and you get a good evaluation of him through his first half of his rookie season. That's going to allow you to deal with Moody and Butler in like a more positive way. So, okay, Moody, I'm just hoping he comes back at some point and joins the team.
Yeah.
But if Lendeborg is legit, then do you really want to bring Jimmy Butler back to build up? You know what I mean? Like, if Lendeborg's playing well and things are copacetic, yes, ideally Butler comes back and makes you that much better. But would you want Butler coming back fresh off an injury where he hasn't played for a year or more, and now he's fighting with minutes for, not fighting, but now you got to figure out who's playing: Draymond, LeBron, Butler, Lendeborg, Porzingis. Or can Lendeborg show something good enough the first half of the year that maybe you say, you know what, Jimmy, we have to move you. And then you try to move Jimmy so he kind of never comes back.
Well, I think moving Jimmy would be just as difficult as doing it now.
Do you?
Right? Because you wouldn't have seen him play.
Well,
he's supposed to come back around February, so it'd be around the deadline.
Well, and ideally you get Butler back, but what I'm saying is if Lendeborg 45, 50 games through the year, it's like, this guy's a starter. This guy's good.
Yeah.
Then do you risk anything by bringing Butler back?
Well, and that's the give and pull with Kerr. I think in a perfect world, Lendeborg proves that no matter if Jimmy's back or Moody's back or, Draymond is good, bad, that he deserves to play. And maybe it's not as a starter, but okay, they're automatically minutes up for grabs because maybe someone like GP2 isn't back.
Right.
That's 15 minutes. Okay, so that's got to go to somebody. I just think that Yaksel, to me, so far has proved that he appears to be what Mike Dunleavy wanted. A pro-ready player at a position of need who can be someone that can kind of be a chameleon. It looks like he can get you 20. He can grab 12 boards. Maybe they're calling him Lendeborgs by the end of the year. I don't know. He's someone that can run point. He can come off. It's like he can do different things. But if you're expecting him to be the best player on this team, that's where I would push the brakes or pump the brakes.
No doubt.
I don't think he can step in and be the best player on this team, even if it all goes to hell and, these old guys get hurt. It's like, I just think that's a lot of pressure to put on a rookie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go to, Frank. Let's go to Frank in Atlanta. Hey, Frank, how you doing? What's going on, man?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing? Hope you guys had a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
You too, Frank.
Okay. This would be one of them conversations. If I ever came up to that place that y'all go to called the Old Ship, we could sit there for hours and talk about this. Okay? We're going to start at the top.
All right.
There's two different basketball teams here. This is what you guys have to understand. The Warriors are on the tipping point of being two different basketball teams. I'll discuss the first one and then the second one's real quick. If LeBron James comes to the Warriors, they're an entirely different team than they are Monday morning at breakfast right now. It's two different teams.
All right.
Because Rich Paul would not allow LeBron James to sign a contract to play for the Golden State Warriors unless he already has in place the trades that him and LeBron feel would provide the Warriors with the players to play LeBron's offense. Because you must understand one thing. If LeBron James comes to the Warriors, Steve Kerr's pass it around and pray Steph get open offense is out the window. And you're going to be playing LeBron James offense. So you're going to have a legitimate 5 in the game at all times. Somebody who can threaten the rim via the lob or some sort of a pass. You can't play 5 out with LeBron James. He's going to get mad and walk off the court. So you have to change the nature of the team. So there's going to have to be a couple of trades that go on.
Okay.
Because that's the only way LeBron's going to come here. So it's 2 totally different teams that you're talking about. Yaksel would play if LeBron comes, and he could probably do well. He might have to play some time at a 4, but he'll get to play. If LeBron James was here, because the offense is going to need to have 2 big men in the game, because LeBron's going to want to play the 3 on the wing, especially with Steph Curry in the game, because that's a lot of wide open shots. So Yaksel would get to play on the baseline. He would get to play, and he would have an opportunity to help him and Gee both. But you have to understand there's going to be some trades made if LeBron comes here. So your team is going to have a different makeup.
Gotcha.
Now, if LeBron doesn't come here, then he'll be standing in the corner getting covered, shooting contested threes, because we'll be playing Steve Kerr's pass it around and pray Steph gets open offense, and no one will ever be open. So then you don't have a chance. He'll be a failure like everybody else was.
All right.
That's it.
Thanks, Frank.
Gotcha, Frank. Well, I do agree that, if LeBron comes here, there will look like 2 different teams, and Yaksel's gonna lead the young guys. But if he doesn't sign, Yaksel could be the one reason why the Warriors are not dissatisfied with this summer if they don't get LeBron. I know people are going to be disappointed because they've basically it looks like they've approached this entire offseason as if they get him or they're just going to make a pick and bring back the same guys. But again, Yaksel's the one kind of shining light on this summer that's been just a ton of inactivity. And if you're the front office, they've gotten into trouble with maybe overselling some of their young players, right? How guys are going to be future all-stars, not worth giving up in particular trades. But I bet, and I think this is part of why they're maybe pushing him as much as they have on Summer League and doing media. And it's like that's what they have to sell right now. Right. Yaksel Lendeborg is the most marketable part of this summer for Golden State. And he put a cherry on top of that marketing campaign with his play because he just took home the Summer League Championship MVP by besting Cam Boozer. So I think people are excited about Lendeborg, and I think the Warriors internally, they have to be excited about this guy because there's nothing else to really get behind.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. From the 408, why is Steiny trying to bubble wrap and protect Yaksel? Dude has not proved anything in the NBA yet. Yeah, I'm not really trying to do that, and I'm not trying to shield him from like the natural competition he's going to field from Draymond Green at training camp. Here's what I know, though. What I know is that Yaksel Lendeborg is different than the other draft picks because the other draft picks didn't work out. And that's what's making the interest in Lendeborg as high as it is. Look, if James Wiseman were a bona fide starting center and Jonathan Kuminga were a bona fide starting power forward, then yes, we'd be excited about Lendeborg, but in a different way. He'd be a guy coming in here, wow, now we got Lendeborg, Wiseman, and Kuminga. We got a young core here. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, can we find one guy, in the last 7 or 8 years who is a difference maker? And this guy has shown more ability to be a difference maker in a month than some of those other players have in a longer time than a month. So, that's why I feel like the Warriors owe it to Lendeborg to, find out what he is sooner rather than later, because no matter what happens, I don't want doubts to linger about Lendeborg like they did for Kuminga over the course of years.
Well, yeah, but I don't think we're really going to find out who he is until he plays with the best players on the team, and a few of those guys are hurt, mainly Jimmy.
Right, but I expect Lendeborg to be good enough at playing with Steph, Draymond, and whoever else is on the court that he's going to shoehorn himself some minutes where maybe some of the Warriors' younger players weren't able to do that. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, now broadcasting from the Laughing Monk Studios. JB is in Fremont. Hey, JB, how you doing?
Hey, you guys got a great show there. I always listen to you guys all the time.
Thank you.
And my opinion on everything is, Steiny, no disrespect.
Okay.
But my view on LeBron is you're looking at just him, Steph, and Barnes like they were, this is the fan base too, like they were 10 years ago. And everybody seems to be sort of stuck on that.
Okay.
And I think if LeBron comes here and he brings Anthony Davis is going to guarantee that he gets his points. However, this guy's not going to last the whole season playing at the same level that he did 10 to 15 years ago. And, like I said, physically, he's not the same. I mean, last year when Steph was hurt, how many games did they lose by 1 or 2 points? They need a closer, okay? And they need guys that can play the whole season. And, kind of on an emotional level, how's the team going to act in a locker room when LeBron has his own little space and that sort of thing? And I just don't see that working. I don't think he's going to last the whole season at optimum performance.
You're talking about LeBron.
On that.
You're talking about LeBron.
LeBron.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't agree. I know he's a good player, but we're looking at the guy 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's almost like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was knocking people out in the beginning. 24 wins. As he started to diminish, the guy didn't have the talent like he did, and he was getting beat up.
Right.
And I kind of see that same analogy with LeBron, only with an ego there.
Appreciate you, JB. I mean, like, the one thing that we got to be realistic about is he's declining. Like, if you go to Basketball Reference and look at look at LeBron's numbers, you realize he's coming to the end of his career. But the numbers are still pretty good. But here's what his numbers have looked like: 30, 29, 25, 24. Last year he averaged 21 points a game, and he played 33 minutes a game. The problem is that, like, he only shot 32% from three last year, LeBron. And the year before that, he shot 37, and the year before that, he shot 41. That, to me, is age. You know what I mean? That scares me a little. The 3-point percentage that's dropped about 10 points in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but I think what we're seeing with LeBron is maybe what we watched a little bit with, for example, like Lionel Messi over this World Cup, where he put up some big numbers. I mean, a hat trick in his first game, couple braces. Like, he scored, 8 goals? But by the end, by the World Cup, you could see that he just didn't have a lot left. And I know that Spain was a much better team than Argentina, and they completely controlled that match yesterday. But I think that's what the caller is drawing attention to. It's not that LeBron still can't be good and get you big games, but by the time that you need him, and I think this applies to Steph and to some extent Draymond too, by the time you need these guys to be at their best, when Argentina needed Messi to pull a rabbit out of the hat, you realize that he was 39 years old.
Right.
And I think that's why the caller isn't so much interested in LeBron. I would be, because I just don't think they have an alternative at this point. It's not like the Warriors are Argentina and they can get Messi to the championship game. Everyone was talking about how it wasn't a great ending for, maybe the greatest soccer player who ever lived. And it's like, to me, that's the best you can expect. he's still perhaps the best player on his team at 39 years old. You know, if Steph Curry doesn't win a championship to go out on top, that to me does not diminish the end of his career. These guys are just trying to get to the playoffs. They're trying to give themselves a chance to do something particularly special. And that's where if Argentina had somehow won the World Cup yesterday, like that would have been borderline miraculous with how much they were dominated throughout that game. And that to me, it's like that's kind of the path that the Warriors are trying to take with all these old guys.
Right. He's our old friend, and he's back. Let's go to Skinny Bob in El Granada. Skinny, where you been?
Well, I've been listening, and I'm pretty active. I got a lot of work to do around the houses, and Cowboy needs my attention. He's going on 12 now, my husky.
Yeah, how is he?
But I catch you. Oh, he's doing great. Yeah. But moving on, I want to talk to you about the coach's comment, not the coach fan. And I respect his comments, but I totally disagree. And let me tell you why I think Kerr's a great coach. He's mentored many great coaches. The New York one. He's got a new sidekick now this year. We haven't talked about him. You don't hear players badmouth Kerr. His life experiences I know a little about because I read the papers all the time. And he's a man of integrity, and the last thing I think he does is discriminate. So I want to get that cleared. But as far as the team and LeBron, if I have the time, I want to comment on bringing LeBron. I've been waving on this on and off. But when I read that we got to have Bronny too, I don't think that's a good idea at all. No way. And if we have to take Anthony Davis, I just don't think it's going to work out. I think LeBron's a great player, similar to Kevin Durant, but we got a leader. We got Curry, and we got some nice young guys, and I watched Yaksel. I saw that game yesterday and the games before, and I think we got a good young core. And as far as Butler, he'll ride the bench for his $50 million and be happy and come in when he's needed. He can control that game. There's no doubt about it. But last year's games, they were always in every game just about, and they'd blow it in the fourth quarter late. So, guys, I'm a happy camper, and you two, along with Guru, boy, you gave me a lot of good talk today, and I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Skinny.
That's what I got to say.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Right on, Skinny.
That's Skinny Bob.
Yeah.
Who's on Kerr's coaching tree? Mike Malone, Gentry, Willie Green, Mike Brown.
Well, some would say that
Kenny Atkinson.
Some would say that Mike Brown's was a head coach before
That's true.
Steve Kerr.
Okay, but Atkinson, although he was too.
Technically, yeah.
And Stotts didn't get a job, right?
No. Neither did Stackhouse, I don't think.
So they're out of work?
Who?
Stotts and Stackhouse?
For now.
There's something there, too.
I mean, I'm
something there, too. A little something fishy there. That's all.
Well, DeMarco got the job with the New York Liberty.
Right.
Does that count?
Yes, absolutely.
They go on to win a WNBA championship?
I think that counts.
I think the best it's probably Michael Malone, right?
Yeah, because he won a title. Although, if Mike Brown's out, he's...
Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
Yeah, Ken's saying Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
Well, it's not quite the Belichick coaching tree, but it's not Shanahan's.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot. Let's say we've been talking a lot about Yaksel Lendeborg. I'm going to play some of this sound. This is from the Warriors Summer League team was down at least 9 in that fourth quarter. What was the difference? Yaksel Lendeborg.
What's the difference? Man, their butts got tight, man. They tucked it up, you know what I mean? So, some of us are built for the moment, some aren't, you know what I'm saying? So, when you get those opportunities like that and you go attack the moment, then, you belong in that moment. So, just our spirit, our will, our desire to not lose is pretty much what helped us out that day.
He didn't like Boozer.
No, he doesn't.
I can tell. And
Boozer is to him as he is to Draymond.
Yeah, well, stop. There was... I might have to go back and watch that February game between Michigan and Duke because something happened. Something had to happen. I don't know why he has such a disdain for Boozer. I don't know. Maybe it's just because he thinks he's better than him, and Boozer's the guy that's always gotten all the hype. But he does not like him. Now,
I could see how this class thinks Boozer's the golden boy.
Yeah. Well,
because of his dad, and he went to Duke and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's, the pretty boy and had all the big numbers and was on, like, that aside, though, could you also see some people around the league or even someone on his team saying, built for the moment?
Yeah,
Like, it was a summer league game. With all due respect, you're playing in front of 200 people, not 20,000.
Look, I said what I said about the things Draymond has been saying about Yaksel, and I'm also smart enough to know that Yaksel might have a little cockiness or whatever that needs to be addressed. Like, that's fine. And when I heard that comment there,
their butts got tight.
Yeah, okay. Like, if that were a regular season NBA game, I don't think he's saying that. I'd like to think he's not saying that. I think he's saying that because he knows he's going up against Boozer, who he feels like he's a contemporary of, which he is, and the other young guys. I'd be surprised if he said that after the Warriors beat Denver, in week 2 of the season.
Oh, that Jokic's butt got tight in the fourth quarter of a game? I think that's fair. Yeah, I do think it's because it kind of feels like it's still college to him, which is understandable, right? He hasn't played an NBA game yet. But maybe that's why Draymond's kind of saying, all right, let's see what happens when we get to training camp. Because you're not going to be talking to guys your age. Or all guys that are younger than him. That's the other part, too. Yaksel's the oldest guy. I don't know for a fact, but I would guess he's one of the older guys in Summer League.
No doubt.
And so he's talking to a bunch of players. He's like, yeah, what, you're 21, you got drafted over me? Or Boozer, you're 19, you got drafted over me? Like, I'm better than you.
And I got to be honest. I mean, Yaksel's going to go from being like the oldest guy in his environment and one of the biggest and strongest guys in his environment to one of the youngest guys in his next environment. And he won't be bigger and stronger than everybody else. That's why, it's going to be up to him to show his new teammates that he's legit.